Hi everyone and welcome for this brand new tutorial versus this time we are going to confront two different ways to paint the gold metallic. The two different ways, true metal painting and non-metal metallics. We are going to show you how to paint the two different methods, it's a two different way, and you can by yourself make a choice. Don't hesitate to comment with your choice at the end, and let's go for the paint.
So as you can see, the true result is this one, so the true metallic metal and the non-metallic metal, and you can see all the different color I use for the two different way to paint your metal. First of all, I'm going to start by painting some non-metallic metal gold on the blade, and as you can see, the way to paint the blade is the same as on the small schema I show you about this cube. So we are going to pushing our highlights on one side and exactly in the opposite direction on an other side. So with my Doombull board, I'm going to push and trying to preserve my very strong and my very black color who are going to be at the opposite side every time. So now with some Snakebit brown from Prince August game, that's the equivalent from the old Snakebit laser from Games Workshop, I'm going to push my highlights in always the same direction to pushing and having more and more contrast. As you can see, step by step, I'm going to push and having more and more highlights on the different surfaces. Remember to highlight first all your different edges to be sure to have a very strong contrast on this part. After that, I'm going to come back with some gold yellow and pushing again my highlight on the edges, and by the way on the different part I already highlight, and this is my second highlight on my non-metallic metal gold on the blade. Remember to focus on a smaller and smaller surfaces and push your color in the direction you want. In that case, this direction is the light, and this direction is always in opposition between the two different surfaces of my blade. Remember, when you use your brush to highlight some edges, don't hesitate to use the side of your brush. Now I'm going to continue the same work, but I'm going to add more light by using some white into my yellow. Remember to don't use too much white because you need to always see the yellow part to have a nice gold non-metallic metal on your sword. More I'm going to paint, as you can see, more I'm going to tap my color to be sure that color will be very strong. Now we are going to start painting the helmets in always non-metallic metal gold. The step will be exactly the same about the different color. So first we are going to use some Doombull brown because it's a pretty red brown, and after, step by step, we are going to highlight with the same kind of paint, so the golden yellow from Prince August, and after we are going to adding more and more white. I forget the Snakebit laser from Prince August Games, who are going to give us the first highlight. About the different surfaces, as you can see in the schema, you can see that on an helmet, this kind of helmet, because these conic surfaces is going to be highlighted by some few line and some few points. You can repeat this line and this point all around the helmet to have a more strong non-metallic metal effect. The next step is done with some gold yellow, so you can push it. Remember to reduce step by step your surfaces so we can always see the previous step, and you will have a very nice transition between your different color. And the last step with a few points of white, and that will be the last step for this helmet. This last point of white is pretty important because it's going to give very strong contrast on your miniatures. Now we are going to start by apply Retributor Gold on all the sword, on all the blade, to create our treatment to pushing shadow into our true metallic metal gold. As you can see, I just do some few and very thin layer of color and try to always preserve my first color, the gold. And directly after that, I'm going to come back with some black just to pushing a little bit more my shadow. And now with some shining silver, I'm going to pushing a little bit my highlights just by reaching the edges and making some few line of this color. Take care to don't use too much shining silver, because you need always to have the Balthasar gold. So the first gold we put, the Retributor gold, sorry, we need to always see him to be sure that's a gold true metal painting. And that's the results. Now we can continue with the helmet, and for that I'm going to apply my Retributor gold base everywhere, and after, and I have a very totally opaque and totally covering color, I'm going to start pushing my shadow into this color. Remember, when you do this shadow, to preserve always your more strong highlight. That's one of the more important key points to have this kind of results. After a quick pushing of black into the more strong shadow, I'm going to come back with some shining silver from Army Painter and pushing it on all the different edges and all the different points of highlight. So here is the result. I really hope you enjoy this tutorial. I'm going to give my the voice to my two different personality for this conclusion.
Once again, what is pretty good with the non-metallic metal is about the very contrast paints, the focus on the way you want, and by the way, the prestige you can have to have a full army paint in non-metallic metal, or for a showcase army. That's always work pretty well. And for me, it's always the same things. TMP is always more quick to do and pretty awesome. Thanks again for watching and see you soon for the next tutorial. Bye bye.
Bye bye.